everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I am Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Today we're doing Superman Earth 1. This is a great comic book that J. Michael Straczynski wrote with Shane Davis on art.
Oh.
This is definitely not a pitch for an alternate Man of Steel.
Really?
Nope, no way.
Wait, when did this come out?
In 2010.
Okay.
So there's no way that Straczynski, who is also a movie and TV writer, was trying to get this job by making this book. There's no way that happened.
Well, I mean, he already made the book, so can't they be like, well, you already did it.
Right, but then like they can adapt it into a screenplay, and why don't they just hire the guy who wrote it?
Right, but if he knew anything about movies, he'd know that they never just make a movie based on a book.
Sometimes they do.
When?
Watchmen?
No.
Well,
They tried to bring in Alan Moore, but of course he was, oh no, I'm not going to
right, but they did follow the book.
They did.
Follow the plot.
That was only because it's so popular.
Well, also, you can't just do, like, a story in the Watchmen universe.
All right, I cite...
because it's based on, like, one...
They did that, and it's called Before Watchmen. I cite to you, then, the Rankin Bass Last Unicorn film, in which they got Peter S. Beagle to write the screenplay, who wrote the novel.
Oh.
All cynicism aside, this is... I don't understand Earth 1. Like,
why is it Earth 1?
Why is it Earth 1? It's so that people who don't normally read comics can go like, oh, 1! That's like... I'm
Earth 1, Volume 1.
Yeah. And
well, this is what I should start with.
Yeah, I should start here. They did a Batman Earth 1, and it's so dumb. Everyone loves it because it's real. And it's not.
Wait, like Batman Begins real?
But, like, not. Like, Batman Begins if Batman actually wore, like, the bat suit from the comics. So it's like, he looks like an idiot. Because you can see his eyes through his, like, comic book cowl, and, like, he'll, like, run, like, it, like, slips off his face. Like, he looks like an idiot. It emasculates Batman. There's a lot about that book that people really, really enjoy. Not me. And maybe one day we'll do it, but not now. Today we're doing Superman Earth 1, which, okay, it's written by Straczynski, so there's going to be a lot of characters in it.
Okay.
They're going to not serve any purpose to the story. They're going to talk a lot, and there's going to be a lot of melodrama. Or at least there's going to be a lot of, like, phony sentimentality.
Okay. So it's gonna kind of be like Man of Steel.
Yeah,
kind
kinda.
A huge amount of characters.
It didn't have a lot of characters, and the sentimentality
but they did
was...
serve no purpose.
They didn't serve any purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the sentimentality of Man of Steel is kind of like incredibly superficial, whereas this is like integral to the story. Like you need the sentimentality to exist. That's why like this is actually okay. Back when I read this in 2010, I think, I hated this book, and I was like, what a bunch of crap. In a post-Man of Steel world, I like this a lot.
Interesting.
Because this could have been Man of Steel, and it would have been okay. Like, we would have been like, oh, that was not what I expected, but you know what? You get a pass.
Okay.
Like, this is a pass. Okay, it's an updating of Superman. It's a modernization of Superman's story.
Right.
So does it tell his origin again?
Again.
Yeah, okay.
Yet again.
And again and again. Origin, like, 20?
Because nobody knows Superman's origin at this point. I mean, who can keep it straight? A baby from a new planet lands in a rocket ship. Who can fucking keep that straight in their head? We need 6 more of these. It's fucking dumb. That said, this is not nearly as bad. It's just like, come on, enough. With the Superman origin, it's like, you can't even use an example of, like, who's a character that, like, it's so stupid to retell Superman's origin. That's like retelling Superman's origin. It's the basis by which we compare all other stupid things. It's why no one wants a Spider-Man origin movie, because everyone knows that origin. But if they don't, I guarantee the people who don't know Spider-Man's origin still know Superman's origin. So Superman's origin is told again. And this time, it's now. And by now, I mean 6 years ago.
Right.
And 6 years ago, Clark is like every new version of Superman. He's alone, and he's sad, and he's all by himself, and his dad's dead again.
Which I don't understand, because, like, in Smallville, he
had
has
many
all kinds
friends.
of friends.
Yeah.
So, and that's pretty recent, so why aren't they using that?
Because that interrupts their desire to have the
Superman
narrative.
be alone.
And by the way, they've been wanting to do Superman's all by himself and sad since, like, the 80s.
Okay.
Like, even in the Superman Lives Tim Burton movie, the reason why Nicolas Cage was so attached to playing that Superman character was because he was going to play it really vulnerable and lonely. Okay. He was like, I'm going to bring this new version of Superman to life, where I'm going to make him, like insecure and lonely and sad. He's all by himself. You know, he's an orphan. Like, that's the concept. And
Okay.
they've never really shaken past that. So thanks, Nicolas Cage, for that. I mean, it's everyone else's fault, but, you know.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage can bear some of that brunt, too. He can fit it in one of his castles. So, Clark goes to... Clark's like 20. Or 18 or whatever. And he goes to Metropolis for the first time. And one of the first shifts with the Clark Kent character is... Normally, when Clark Kent goes to Metropolis, he's got the suit, he's got the glasses, and he's already, like, Buster Poindexter. In this one, he wears lots of layers.
Layers of clothes?
Yeah.
Like t-shirts,
like
hoodies.
T-shirt, hoodie, jacket.
Like, because it's cold?
Well, because it's cool to wear all those clothes. Oh. And it's like, he's shielding himself from, like, being close to anybody.
Oh.
I guess.
So he can just shed the layers.
Yeah. But
does he shed more layers as the book goes on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Deep.
Yeah, he's like an onion. So
he's like an ogre.
He struck it out on his own because his dad, Jonathan Kent's dead, because that poor old man can't catch a break, and he dies.
What did he die of?
Not jumping into a tornado. I'll tell you that. I think he has a heart attack, like a regular person.
Okay.
He does, in fact, have a heart attack because, like, I think he actually dies in Clark's arms. What we are spared from is that scene. Clark talks about it instead of like deliberately pulling on our heartstrings to make us watch an old man die. But Clark talks about it enough, so you know. And he goes to his grave a lot. You know, to be like, "Hey, Dad," and it's cool because he's not like he doesn't call him Pa, so it's a little bit of an updating.
Okay.
He calls him Dad, and he's looking out to take care of his mom because Jonathan Kent's dead, so there's nobody like to provide for his mom.
Okay.
And
didn't they have a farm?
They do have a farm,
and she did nothing.
I mean, like she like fed the chickens and stuff, but like she couldn't work the plow.
Yeah,
she's an old lady.
You drive the plow.
I know. There's actually like hardened
somebody.
Kansas lady. Yeah, but like the farm wasn't really doing that well.
Yeah.
So they didn't have much money to like really keep it up.
And, and like I think that the idea here is like his mom basically says like, you don't have to go take care of me. Like I got a lot from the life insurance, and I like we have a lot of like I live in Kansas. We have a lot of friends and family who like sent us things or are taking care of me. Like I'm okay.
You think one of those family members might come and help take care of the farm?
Right, but no. Well, because why? Clark's there, right?
No, he's not.
Well, exactly, but then he leaves.
Well, I don't understand. Why didn't he just stay and work the farm?
Because like I think
because he didn't want to.
Well, because Straczynski needs him to go to the city.
No, he has to be his own man, and that means leaving.
Right.
I thought he had to help his mom.
It is actually it is. Like,
man?
His mom actually insists. Like she's like, you need to leave. Like you need to go and be your own man. Like you can't be tethered here because of me.
Okay.
Like both your dad and I agreed that you belong out there. You should be in a city and you should be helping people. Like and in fact,
that's nice.
Yeah,
that's refreshing.
Right. And in fact, she makes him his Superman costume before he even goes to the city. Oh. Like she makes it out of clothing and materials from the crash site.
Okay.
And so it's cool. So it's non-destructible.
I'm surprised she knows how to work those materials.
Well, it's basically just Kryptonian cloth, but like it's just really strong because it's from Krypton.
Well, how would you even get a needle through it if it's so strong?
Well, no, it's Kryptonian. I don't know. Maybe she used a kryptonite-tipped needle. Because I know that kryptonite hasn't been introduced in this volume. It will be in the next volume, but not now.
But then she accidentally leaves one in the costume because she was hemming it, and it stabs him, and then he dies.
Well, maybe the pod included a Kryptonian sewing machine along with the cloth.
Here's the problem. There is no pod. When Superman landed, another updating, by the way, is that the Kents were on a hike. They weren't, like, driving home from the market or whatever. They're on a hike, and they're just walking in the woods.
So it didn't crash in, like, one of their fields?
No, it did not. It crashed in the woods.
Okay.
And
so it could have been anyone's baby.
There's no woods in Kansas.
It could have been a wolf baby.
That's right. It could have been Wolverine's baby. Another universe. But yeah, so, like, it could have been a wolf baby.
Superman raised by wolves.
Earth 57.
Yep. You'll see it soon in Convergence. So they see, like, the UFO, like, start to crash. Like, oh, let's go check it out. Because they're just, like, people. Like, I would check that out. I don't know about you guys. If you're
yeah, definitely.
So they run to the site, and it's this fucking spaceship, and there's a baby in it, and they're like, oh, shit. And so they grab the baby, and John grabs a piece of debris from the craft. Because he's like, because the craft looks like it's going to explode, or whatever.
Okay.
Or rather, I think they're just going to, like, we got to go before the authorities show up.
Right.
And he grabs a piece of debris in case, like, you know, they need...
In case it's important.
In case it's important.
Or valuable.
Right. So... they take it, and then, of course, the ship explodes.
Okay.
In such a way that there is nothing left.
Right.
This is a very well-designed plan by
Jor-El.
Yeah.
To have a self-destructive.
Look, I'm really
actually,
good at takeoffs, but I'm bad at landing.
Yeah. Well, no, because okay, so the idea is the cops, of course, the feds like converge on that site almost immediately after they fly the coop.
Right.
And later you find out that the baby shuttle can regenerate. Like it has self-replicating blah blah blahs, and so
like nanobots.
It explodes to like either ward off predators or whatever, because they knew that Cal was going to land on a yellow sun-rich planet, so he was going to be indestructible. And then when the authorities get the debris and they bring it back, it like reassembles. So when you actually see it again, it's like in a hangar bay, and it's the fucking craft all over again.
Is it missing a piece?
It doesn't. I don't remember if it's actually like, oh, we need one more piece. There's no crucial point with that now.
Goddamn.
But when Clark interacts with it, when he's like flashing back to when they tell him you're Superman, it like interacts with him.
Okay.
But it's not enough information because
like
it's like a piece. Yeah, kind of like he's in the Matrix. Or it's like because it's his bassinet, like it's like
a learning pod.
It's like a learning pod or whatever. It's a kind of thing where once the artificial intelligence that is in the piece of the ship like interacts like a Wi-Fi signal with Kryptonian DNA, it uploads information, but it also tells him like, I don't have all the information. I'm just this one piece. You need to find the rest of it.
So it sends him on like a scavenger hunt.
Yes, except
treasure hunt.
Well, and the treasure hunt is one place, and he just goes there and gets it.
Okay.
It would be hilarious if it's like, I gave you a little bit of knowledge, but it's all about like the plant life
right
on Krypton.
Yeah, you only got this one piece. That was the herbology of Krypton. I'm sorry. And it helps you in no way because there's no plants.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
Hey, you know now.
Yeah, but you're an expert on this completely obscure field, so you're ready for graduate school. So his mom makes the outfit, and she's like, you might need this one day. And he's like, no.
What?
He's like, no, I have to take care of you. Like, I can't.
I gotta get a job.
I can't be Superman. I gotta get home. I'm late. I'm infant as it is. No, he's very much like that. Especially after John dies, he's like, I can't be Superman. Mm-hmm. By the way, the S.
I couldn't even save my dad.
Well, that's much more like Richard Donner Superman.
Okay.
I love that moment. That's such a great moment where he's just like, because I think he's playing with his powers, and then like John has a heart attack, and then he hears his mom scream for him. And so he like flies over, and then he like gets to him, and he's just like, all those powers, and I couldn't even save him. I can do all these things, but I can't save my dad. I'm like, that's cool. That's Superman.
Yeah.
His parents have kind of like an argument over what his superhero name should be.
Okay.
She made the S because he's their son, and he'll be the son of the Earth. Like,
okay.
So he'll be the son.
Sun boy.
And John was like, how about Superman? Because he's super duper, and he's going to be a man when he wears the outfit.
Super powerful.
Yeah. And so he's like, you know what? Like, Dad kind of had the right idea.
Yeah. Okay.
But either way, he doesn't put it on. He takes it with him, obviously.
Right. Just hanging out in his closet.
He just, like, balls it and, like, throws it in the closet.
It's like, all right, Mom, I'll take the suit.
Yeah. So Clark's plan is, actually, he's going to try to take care of his mom. So he actually winds up, like, he doesn't go near the Daily Planet. He tries to, like, become, like, a chemist, and he's great at it. Or like a professional football player, and he's great at it. Or a professional baseball player, and he's great at it. Like, of course, because he's great at everything. Right. So he tries all these things, and they're like, oh, like here you go, like we want you. Like when you're ready to like join us, like sign on the dotted line, you'll be set for life. And he's like, okay, I now know that I can take care of Mom. Like I can make any amount of money, and Mom will be safe.
Right.
And he calls her, and he's like, what do you think? And she's like, don't take any of those jobs because those jobs are not going to make you happy. Right. And that's what's going to make me happy is your happiness.
Plus, it's like cheating.
Yeah. She doesn't care about that.
Play baseball and immediately be the best player by virtue of having superpowers.
And he does do that, by the way.
If no one knows,
is it really cheating? You can take steroids as long as nobody knows. Is it really cheating?
No, but if you're biologically predisposed to be the best...
You're not a human being.
Yeah,
you shouldn't even be able to be on the team.
Well,
then he shouldn't have a social security number, or he shouldn't be able to get a job anywhere. He's not even an American.
He is an American. He has American citizenship.
Yeah. He has American citizenship because he's their son, but he's not their son.
He's an adopted
I don't think there's anything...
When did they adopt him? What papers show that?
There's no papers.
Exactly. Yeah. He's not an American, technically.
All right. I think they actually did that story where like they were like, what papers did you sign? You came from Krypton. And he's like, what? This is a dumb story. Yeah. That was me.
Here are my papers.
Well, it just means he can never run for president.
Right. So, and he does,
like
actually.
A real person.
the art by Shane Davis is pretty impressive.
She is somebody.
Yeah, like
that's
a
an
real
actress.
That's an actress. Yeah,
I don't remember her name.
But okay, so Clark goes.
Jimmy Olsen is cool now.
Jimmy Olsen's cool.
He's got like spiked hair.
Yeah, and he's attractive. He's not a goofball, and he's not like inept.
He has more of a stronger. He has a stronger jaw than Clark.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Perry White exactly the same. Daily Planet exactly the same. Lois Lane same thing. Jimmy's a little cooler. That's it. Clark does actually try to work for the Daily Planet. He goes there.
And they turn him down.
They start to run the riot act, but like Perry wants to give him a shot. He's like, here, have him an application. And then Clark's like, nah, fuck that. He throws it in the garbage. He goes into space and he's like, I don't know, like what I should do. And he starts to flash back to like getting his powers, which I explained. Mm-hmm. And then he actually winds up like getting this like crazy signal that signifies an alien invasion.
Jesus.
So we're like not even wasting any time. Like Clark's trying to get a job, but alien invasion. Yeah. So Clark's like, holy shit, and he's like, I don't want to get involved.
Man,
like,
thank God this didn't happen.
He doesn't want to get involved.
Well, the whole thing is for him. He's like, I don't want to be Superman because if I have to be Superman, I will have to be alone. I can never like really be a person anymore. I'll be a servant to the world.
The idea of a secret identity.
Yes, because
so he can be a person. He just not all the time.
No, but like the fact that he's Superman means that he's going to have to be Superman like all the time. Like he's
because there's so many people to save that
there's
he can never stop saving people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another part of it is I liked another great moment that like would have worked in the movie is they talk about how they acknowledge instead of it being a Kryptonian battlesuit that's on like a dormant fucking colonization ship, his mom makes it for him because as a symbol for hope. And when he notices that it doesn't come with a mask, he's like, why doesn't it have a mask? Like, what am I going to do?
Right.
And she's like, you can't wear a mask because you have too much power. People won't trust you. They need to be able to see your eyes.
Unlike that Batman fellow.
Yeah. They don't even mention Batman.
Well, this is the weirdest thing about it, is he's so alone. He's like, if I do this, I have to be alone. But it's 2006 or 2008?
It's 2010, but yeah, close
2010. And there are no other superheroes?
Not yet.
Bullshit!
It's Earth 1! It's Earth 1!
Yeah, it's a totally different universe.
Yeah.
He's the first.
And Batman is so fucking ineffectual in Earth 1 that he's not even close to irrelevant.
But there's no Wonder Woman, there's no Green Lantern, there's no Flash, there's nobody.
No, it's just Superman. For now.
How can Superman be the first superhero ever?
He's always been the first.
He's always been the first, but like, now it's a retelling and it's 2010 and he's still the first?
Yes!
Well, because the Themyscira is still like hidden.
Yep.
From they haven't like come out.
Yeah, and Abin Sur hasn't come to Earth yet.
Right.
It sucks.
Why would there be any Green Lanterns?
I'm glad there's no superheroes in here. It's too complicated.
Yeah.
Like we're telling Superman's origin all over again, and we're pitching a movie here, and maybe we don't want Green Lantern in our movie. Maybe we want to make this movie all by ourselves.
Plus, once you introduce those characters, then you got to go into it. Like once there's other superheroes, then he's got to interact with them, and that takes a whole lot of time.
It does.
And let's just worry about Superman for right now.
Right. So the main villain reveals himself, and it's a new villain that Straczynski's created for the book.
Okay.
His name's Tyrell, and he looks like a combination of the Joker and
the Crow,
the female robot who was built by the Tyrell Corporation from Blade Runner.
Oh.
Which is like, why did you do that? But whatever. Yeah, he looks like the Crow. But like, yeah, he's wearing Daryl Hannah's makeup.
Yeah.
From Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And his name is Tyrell. Cheap. I don't know why, but like, why? Why do I make a Mac and Me reference? How about a batteries not included reference while we're at it? Like, why Blade Runner in our Superman script?
He's a fan of Blade Runner.
I guess so. Good for him. That's nice.
No, he saw it the night before.
Right, he's like, you Tyrell.
Oh man, that's stuck in my head now.
Stupid.
Well, so, it only bothers you because you know the reference.
It's
Most
true.
people probably would never catch
Right, but once you see it, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that and he looks like a dumb mime.
Yeah.
Well, he does look friggin'
He looks
retarded.
really dumb. So, he attacks whatever. And
he's leading the aliens?
He's the leader of the... In fact, so...
What species is this? Who are these?
The Tyrell comes from a species of people that lived like where Mars is to us. He lived to Krypton as Mars is from us.
In the same solar system.
So same solar system, and they've been in a bitter war with the Kryptonians forever. And Tyrell and his people were the ones who built the war machines that destroyed Krypton.
Oh, so they're like more powerful.
Krypton didn't like have tectonic whatevers. Tyrell blew up Krypton.
Okay.
And he's not satisfied until every last Kryptonian is dead.
Yep.
And he knows
So
that a Kryptonian escaped.
Yeah, he tracked. Yes, one Kryptonian escaped. He tracked the fucking energy signature.
It took him like 20 years.
Yeah, it took him 20 years, but I got here, and I've got my engines, and they're gonna blow up Earth. And good luck.
Well, how? Okay, so
I've got my war machines.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, well, how is Superman going to beat an entire army when his whole planet couldn't defeat them, but they weren't superpowered?
Right, they were just people, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Also, Tyrell had a little help from the inside. But that's not until Volume 2.
Well, wouldn't Tyrell's planet, also being bathed in a red sunlight, give Tyrell superpowers on Earth because it's a yellow sun?
Oh, shit.
Yes.
So wouldn't his entire army be superpowered?
They're like mech suits and stuff. I don't know if they're actually people or robots. But I never see them again.
So Tyrell might be the only actual
survivor
living
character of these things. Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Weird.
So Superman puts on his costume. He's like, "Fuck it, I gotta do it. Like, I gotta be Superman now."
Right.
So he puts on the costume, and this is when we get like the new, like updated version of Superman's costume, and it's almost identical to the old Superman costume.
Clark Kent doesn't wear glasses, so how?
No, he doesn't.
How is he gonna keep his secret identity a secret?
That's the ending.
He's gonna get glasses.
He does get glasses at the end.
Oh.
He winds up realizing like that the mask needs to be Clark Kent,
right?
Much like the mask needs to be Bruce Wayne, but like Clark needs to be the mask, so he puts on the glasses. He ditches like the trendy outfit and trades it in for like an ill-fitting suit. Like he becomes Clark Kent.
Okay.
He sacrifices being cool.
He sacrifices being himself.
Yes, because he feels more comfortable.
He's cool.
Yes, he is cool. He's like, I'm cool. I mean, look, I'm great at football and like chemistry and shit. I'm cool.
And I wear all these layers.
Yeah, I got all these layers, and they're
fucking awesome.
I'm very accessorized.
These layers.
I got my hoodie and my jacket. I'm wearing them all the time. If it rains, I'm set.
Right. Or if the weather changes rapidly,
I can just pull the hoodie down.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of parallels between this and Man of Steel in that, like, a foreign invader from his solar system attacks Earth, is going to destroy it. Superman's got to fight, and they have a big, superpowered fight across Metropolis. Only in this one, he doesn't kill everyone in it.
Right.
They fight, and Superman, like, tries really hard not to, hurt anybody. Tyrell gives us the origin of, like, the Kryptonians destroyed my people, and we fucked over them. And actually, Tyrell
his race is mostly dead, too.
Mostly dead, yeah.
Okay.
Tyrell actually winds up having like some red sun generating machines, and he gets Superman caught in one. So Superman's stuck there, and he can't. He's like pinned or something. He can't get out, and he also has no fucking powers.
Right.
And Lois and Jimmy wind up like pulling him out and saving him. And Tyrell like broadcasts, by the way, like all this information. So like people are like, so is Superman good or bad? Mm-hmm. Like, so it's another updating of the character for Straczynski to do, in that like it makes it more complicated. Mm-hmm. Like, not everyone immediately fawns over and loves Superman. There is a lot of division, but it's not justifiable division. It's not like, well, he did contribute to the murdering of hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah. No, but it would be fantastic if they're like, oh my god, this alien is here destroying our world because he's hunting this person.
Yes.
This fugitive.
That's right. And if he just gave himself up, he wouldn't have attacked us. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck? And then they fight, sure, and he does defeat him ultimately. But, like, what's going on? Also, there's this dude who's been living here for, like, however long, who's got super fucking powers.
And we didn't know?
Yeah. Right. What the hell? Why didn't you tell us?
Well, and their first introduction to him is, like, in this cataclysm. Like,
right.
It's not like he was saving,
he didn't do, like,
puppies from trees.
Which is actually more, like, in line with an original Superman origin, like, where he just shows up, he's like, nah, and they're like, oh, yay!
Right.
A savior from the sky. So, Lois and Jimmy save Superman, establishing the Superman and Lois and Jimmy relationship. Uh-huh. And then Tyrell and Superman fight. Superman does not snap his neck. I'm
sorry, what?
I know, right? It's really weird.
How would he defeat anyone?
He does, like, blast him away with his, like, heat vision, right? Like, melt his face.
No, he doesn't use his heat vision to melt his face.
Well, Tyrell was going to kill a bunch of innocent people, and then Superman had to kill him.
Right. Yeah, he broke his spine, right?
No, he didn't break his spine, nor does he stab him to death.
Maybe he crushed his skull.
No, he doesn't crush his skull, interestingly enough. They fight, and actually, the other problem...
He chokes him.
No, he doesn't choke him either. So, Superman needs to, like...
Well, how does he murder this guy?
All right, well, he does murder this guy. But it's more like how Batman murders Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, he lets him die.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna save him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still killed him!
No, I didn't. The
No.
train killed him.
Yeah, because it was spinning out of control. You could have just grabbed him and left.
Yeah, but that was Ra's al Ghul's fault that the train was going out of control.
Yes, it was.
He stabbed the thing.
He put himself
It's not
on
really
that
my
train.
fault.
But you got off the train, and you can
Yeah.
fly.
I mean, no, I
can't really
can
fly.
Yeah, but you can glide. You could have just grabbed him and flown away. If it was Rachel and you, there would have been two people gliding out of that train.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Well, yeah, but in that movie, it's because it was Kate. What's her face?
Oh yeah, I don't remember her name.
He'd have to risk his life a little bit though.
Right.
It would take a little bit.
That's
more
what
time.
Batman does, though.
Yeah,
Look,
but
look,
he's a
I'm
bad
not-
guy.
I'm not gonna hug a dude.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's to save his life.
Wow, Batman. Kind of a jerk. So, Tyrell actually reveals, like, you can't... Superman doesn't, like, blast through his spaceships like a fucking bullet because the ships he made are made of, like, Kryptonian material or something like that. They're really strong.
Okay.
And he's like, they're almost as strong as, like, Kryptonian material.
Okay.
And Superman's like, almost as strong as Kryptonian material. I happen to have some Kryptonian material. He breaks into the army base, he grabs his bassinet, and he uses it to pierce through all the ships.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Tyrell's like on one of the ships that he's like, you know, you'll never blah blah blah. Like, and then the ship explodes. Like Tyrell blows up with his ship. He goes down and with his ship.
Oh.
Like
Does
Superman and he fight. Like they
Does he
fight a lot.
die? He's
Yes.
superpowered.
Yeah, but like
Right?
I think there's a lot of like red sun radiation in all the ships. Like all the ships are like glowing red. I don't know if that's because they are like generating red sun radiation or if it just happens to look cool. But either way, Tyrell fucking dies.
Okay.
Because he
Do
never
you see
comes
the
back.
body?
You don't see the body. But it's also vaporized in the explosion that he is in. So yeah, then Clark goes like I needed to act. Like if I didn't become Superman,
Right.
the world would have been fucked. So goodbye, cool Clark Kent. And then he actually gets offered a job from one of those like high paying firms, and he's like, you know, like I'm gonna have to pass. And like, well, the offer's always on the table, and then he's like, okay. And he puts on the glasses and he gets the suit and he shows up for work at the Daily Planet. And the reason why he gets the job at the Daily Planet is because the other thing was the Daily Planet was having an issue when he was applying in the first place because newspapers were on the decline, especially the Daily
Pretty
Planet.
timely.
Yeah, and after the ensuing invasion and Superman's appearance, the Daily Planet was like the main source of information about those two things, and it had a major upswing on the Daily Planet. So the Daily Planet's actually doing pretty well now.
Okay.
Because now people are reading newspapers to read more about Superman.
Which they can't find on the internet anywhere.
Well, they can, but like the Daily Planet has more exclusive information about it.
Now, why is that?
Because Clark Kent works for the Daily Planet now.
No, I'm talking about before he gets the job.
Well, because the invasion was of Metropolis, and the main newspaper in Metropolis was the Daily
It's
Planet.
like national news or global news.
Yes.
So.
But everyone in the world was buying the Daily Planet
Daily
to see what
Planet.
was going on.
That wouldn't make sense because you would get much more updated information as it progressed from an internet website.
Well, I'm sure
than
that
a
the Daily
newspaper.
Planet has a website.
Yeah, probably. And they were
And-
probably like the source of most of the first articles.
Yes,
about
and in
it.
fact, like most news outlets are aggregates
Yeah.
from like one or two sources anyway.
Yeah.
Like most news you read is just co-opted from a prime news source.
Well, exactly. But
So any Superman or Metropolis related news is going to come directly from the Daily Planet.
The reality is, like, you would get a lot of publicity as a
Yeah.
city paper for a major event
Right,
in your
but it
city,
wouldn't-
But it would take like months and years to play
and it-
play out and to parlay that into
It also
like, a
wouldn't
leading
like
position.
it wouldn't be translatable into like and now we're doing well again.
Right.
Like all of a sudden we're not irrelevant.
Yeah.
it's like,
So-
no, that doesn't make the paper source.
No,
like,
but it does.
not relevant.
Well, if you
Oh, but it
wrote,
does
if
now.
you had
Yeah.
a bunch of reporters who are already really good and just weren't known,
That's
and
the
they
thing.
did use the event to like write a bunch of like kick-ass pieces and win some Pulitzers
Yeah.
and stuff, like you could.
And I think that's the
You
implication
know.
because Jimmy's a really good photographer in this, and Lois is a great reporter,
Right.
and Clark shows up with an exclusive interview with Superman,
Right. Is Metropolis in this like?
which is cheating.
Well, it's also like,
So Superman, what do you think? Well,
why didn't someone else be like, I interviewed Superman too? What, Clark? No, you didn't.
you did not.
Oh yeah, prove it.
I'll be right back. Whew. You didn't interview me, you dick. Take it back.
All right, let me talk to Clark and you at the same time. Ooh.
Wait, there. Solved all my problems.
Yeah. He was gonna kill somebody.
Yeah, he was turning into a monster.
He was gonna kill Clark Kent. Reputation.
Or whatever. So Superman. So Clark becomes Clark. He shows up, by the way, with the interview, and Lois is like, "Are you fucking kidding me with this? You nobody. You got to interview Superman. That's fucking stupid."
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe that.
Let's see
Let
the
me read
photo
it.
of you talking to
Yeah,
him.
and she reads it, and it's like, this is a brilliant piece of writing. You're full, I will figure this out. And so she, like, goes on a manhunt to figure out what the hell's the deal with Clark.
Yeah, like,
In
why
Volume
is Superman
2.
talking to
Yeah,
him?
why would Superman talk to him? Why is Clark so good? Is he full of shit? And that's Volume 2. And Volume 2 is her, like...
Why is Clark so good at writing?
Because he's great at everything, because he's Superman.
But Superman has superpowers.
Yes.
That's why he's good at
Yeah,
everything.
that allows him to play football really well.
Well,
Yeah.
and according to this, like,
He's
he's
also-
also really smart and can figure out, like, advanced
true.
chemistry and shit.
Is that because of his superpowers?
I don't know.
Or is he really applies himself?
No,
Some
you
people-
understand. He had nothing else to do on the farm, so he
learned,
just
like, theoretical
learned, like,
nuclear
everything.
physics.
Right.
So, like,
He read every
people
book.
like Morrison and Straczynski believe that Superman is, like, enhanced in every way. Like, his mind is enhanced as well. But, like, he's super smart, too.
That's dumb.
I know. But, like...
That takes away, like, the only thing
The everyman
that
quality of him?
mitigates his superpowers.
Right,
Like,
but he's not as smart as Batman.
right,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, if he could become the world's greatest detective, what the fuck would he hang out with Batman for? He's an
Right.
asshole anyway.
Right.
Naturally, by the way, at the end, we
that
have
article?
Clark's brilliant article written by
Oh.
Straczynski, showing just how brilliant and wonderful he is as a writer. So, yeah. But the article, like, gets Clark the job, but also creates this interesting relationship between him and Lois, where Lois goes, not unlike Man of Steel, on, like, a journey
Right.
to figure out, like, what the deal is. And, of course, like, people who Clark knows in his life, like, call him up and it's like, Clark, this reporter keeps showing up. He's asked a question about you. And Clark's like, interesting, good to know. I'll be able to fuck with that.
Hang on a second. Hey, Lois.
Yeah, solved.
Does she...
Where'd Lois go? Who matters? Here's another Superman story. Ah, you're a good man, Clark.
Is that all a prelude to her figuring out?
I
who's
think
Superman?
so, but
Or do they even get that far?
they don't even get that far. There's
How many-
3 volumes
Okay.
of Earth 1 Superman. The second one establishes Zod, and the third one is whatever.
So the first 2 books are about, like, alien
Yes.
invasions.
Yes, and it sets up the Lex Luthor relationship,
Okay.
which is also turned on its ear. But we'll talk about that in the future.
Jimmy's such a good photographer, he can take pictures at an angle.
Well, he's probably, like, went to the, like, film school before he went to photography school.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, hang on a second. This is going to make the shot really cool.
Interesting.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, dude, we should film back issues at an angle.
It's a good idea. Like, it was filmed by Ken Branagh from Thor. 'Cause if you watch Thor, every other shot is on a friggin' angle.
Yep.
Like Thor, but
Yeah.
got really, like, uncomfortable.
Once you know that, it's really fucking distracting.
Yes. It's like those lens flares. in
Yes.
Star
Oh,
Trek.
God. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's Earth 1. It's fun. It's a cool story. But here's the kicker. Here's why it's a script.
Okay.
The people who have anything to say about it. Here's the quotes for Earth 1. I'm not going to read the
back of the
quotes,
book.
but here they come from. IO9. Okay, IO9, you know, they're kind of like a nerd source, but they're
Yeah.
much more contemporary. Ain't It Cool News? Okay, once again.
Yeah.
But they also report mostly on movies and stuff. The Hollywood Reporter. Okay. Huffington Post. Okay. Slash Film. So, USA Today. So, really, like, this is just a book to get Superman into the hands of people who would never pick up a Superman comic.
Yeah.
Particularly movie producers. But then they made Man of Steel, which is, like, it takes elements from this.
Yeah, it's
but
clearly
then
influenced by this.
It's clearly that Goyer and Snyder read this and then didn't get it.
Yeah. The cover quote, holy shit. It's, what do you get when you combine Twilight and a classic superhero?
Not
The new
this!
Superman.
No!
I would never read this book.
I would never
based
read
on
that.
Twilight!
Yeah, Twilight!
Are you freaking kidding?
There is no romance in this book at all. Okay, my issue is with the Earth 1 universe, because, like, it's kind of like the DC equivalent of the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
Like for Marvel, where Marvel's like, let's tell Spider-Man like in 2000. Now it's 2015, so it's already irrelevant. But you know, it's like a modern rendition in a new universe where all these modern versions of the characters can interact,
Right.
and the movies can use those templates to make their movies off of. Because actually, most of the Marvel movies are using a lot of stuff from the Ultimate Universe.
Right.
because it's like shorter histories and easier, more distillations of the
Everything's
character.
condensed and-
Yeah, it's taking all the best parts and then like just boiling them down into like one base thing. But they do take then elements and story arcs from the rich tapestry of the original 616 universe and then put them into the movie. With this, they could do the same thing, and I don't know if they did or not, but it's weird because they're also graphic novels. Like, this came out like this.
Oh, that explains why it was on like the New York Times bestseller list.
Yes.
It was a book.
It was a book.
Okay.
And it wasn't like individual issues that were collected later.
Right.
Which I think is a great idea. And I think they should do
Yeah.
more of this. The problem is the delays. Like, this came out, and then 2 years later, Volume 2 came out. And then 2014, the Volume 3 came out.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a long fucking time.
Yeah, but not for people who are used to books, like where Game
Yes.
of Thrones, like they're still fucking waiting for the next Game of
And
Thrones.
they will
book,
be.
and
Yeah, but
they will be for
the amount
like
of
3 years.
the amount of information in a Game of Thrones
Yeah.
book
Yeah, there's a lot
It
of
is
prose.
dense.
much more intense
It's
than
true,
what's in here.
but the art, I imagine,
Takes
takes
a
a
while.
long
The
time.
art
Not that fucking
At
long.
the same time, this is what, maybe like 5-6 issues?
Yeah, this is really short. Like, this is maybe 4 issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say not even 5.
So that would be like less than a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 4 months of
Yeah,
books.
that's
And
true.
we expect them to do that every month.
Well, it's probably because the people behind this are doing other stuff simultaneously, so they have.
Yeah,
to
thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I bet.
Click this annotation here to see every episode of Backers we've ever done. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And we'll see you guys next time. So long.
Later.
Err.
Goodbye, Superman.